Welcome to episode number 6 of this Boston Red Sox franchise series here in MLB Show 21. Today I'm obviously playing my Boston Red Sox franchise here in MLB Show 21, or here in MLB Show 21, like I just said. It's the All-Star Game, 2021 All-Star Game. We've got Coors Field, AL versus NL. I'm going to show you the rosters right now. They're up here, I think, right? No. Well, not the rosters, where would I find? I think here. Oh, yeah, I did. Here. So this is the final voting, because the first half is over. Chris Sale, our pitcher, who went 11-1 with a sub-2 ERA in the first half, is the starting pitcher for the AL. This top relief pitcher is Darren O'Day, but there'll probably be some more relievers, because obviously he's not going to have three pitchers, a starter, a reliever, and a closer. Closer, Liam Hendricks. We also Matt Barnes, our closer, who went 32 for 39 on save opportunities, 32 saves, 7 blown saves in the first half, as a second and closing pitcher, so he might be in the bullpen. But also, usually they take the top 5 starters. In this case, is Chris Sale, Shane Bieber, Derek Cole, Jose Barrios, and Lance Miller Jr. And then usually they take 5 relievers and maybe like a few closers. And then catcher is Kurt Suzuki. I literally do not know how that happened, but it's Kurt Suzuki of the Angels. Jarrett Walsh of the Angels at first base. But also remember, you might see like Luke Boyd or Joey Votto, who's on the Minnesota Twins in the same. I don't know if he got traded. He might be a backup or something. And remember, even though we're at an NL Park, which is Coors Field, which is an NL Park, like I said, there's a DH. So remember that. David Fletcher at center base. You have what? Kurt Suzuki behind the plate from the Angels. You have Jarrett Walsh at first base from the Angels, and David Fletcher at center base from the Angels. Why do the Angels have so many players made in the to be a starter? Why do they have so? They already have 3 starters. We have 2 now, with Rafael Devers at third base, Tim Anderson at short, Bodarts is in second, so he might be like a backup, or possibly he might be the DH. Giancarlo Stanton's in left, Jaden Martinez is second, only lost by 8,000 votes. George Springer's in center, and then Franmil Reyes is in right, beat Cruz by 13,000 votes. Cruz might be in, because Cruz, although he's 40 years old, I know in real life he's on with the Nationals. His team is still on the Minnesota Twins. Batting 265, 17 home runs, 54 RBIs, 13 doubles, 82 hits. Not bad. And now to the NL side of things. Trevor Bauer, who in real life is on leave. He's been on leave for like a year now, or almost a year. He's starting pitcher for the NL. Probably usually they take 5 stars. So in this case it would be Bauer, Woodruff, or Trevor Bauer, Brandon Woodruff, Julio Reyes, Jada the Draw, and Pedro Lopez. No, it's 6. So it would be Bauer, Woodruff, Reyes, and I can't count. It would be Bauer. Yeah, it would be Bauer, Woodruff, Reyes, DeGrom, and Pablo Lopez. Then you have Richard Blyer at relief pitcher, Will Harris of the Nationals at closer, Chichiro Mirto, a catcher from the Phillies, starting catcher for the NL. First base is Jose Abreu on the Reds. I don't know how he died on the Reds. Ozzie Alves from the Braves at second, Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals at third, Fernando Tatis Jr. from the Padres at short, Christian Yelich from the Brewers in left, Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Braves in center, and Mookie Betts from the Dodgers in right. Beat Bryce Harper by 7,000 votes. So yeah, so obviously I'll show you the lineups and all that stuff. Both controllers per usual. The AL will be although the NL is the home team, the red controller will be the AL, because this is obviously a Red Sox franchise, and the Red Sox are in the AL. Almost like the NL. So it's still TBD for the starters, but it should be Sale and Bauer, although it doesn't say that. Obviously, in the last episode was the home run derby. Rafael Devers, there was one Red Sox player in the home run derby. It was Rafael Devers. He won it all. Spoiler alert, but if you want to see it, although I just told you who won, it'll be in the sky and separate turn right up here. There should be an icon that pops up. There should be an icon that pops up at the beginning of the video. It's the end of the All-Star Game right now. What's the offer? I know we have a trade offer. It's like for minor leaguers, so no, I don't care. Now it's the end of the game, so there's no. Yeah, I know that. Okay, now it's. I know there's a player in the. We have 2 players in the All-Star Game, at least 2 starters. So it is Sale versus Bauer. Bauer was 11-7 with a 2 ERA. Sale was, like I said, 11-1 with a sub-2 ERA. And finally, so like I said, although the AL is a road team, the AL will be the red controller and the NL will be the blue controller. The gold controller in the left stick's kind of broken, so that's why I'm using the red controller and the blue controller. So yeah, let's get into the game. It's at Coors Field, holds 50,398, opened in 1995 when the Rockies became a franchise. Presentation of broadcast theme style, the show theme. That's the default. Court counts will be on, and cloud cover will be clear skies. This is the All-Star game. So do we do? So the Barnes is in it. That's it. So yeah, it'll be Sale versus Bauer. It's righty versus lefty. Bauer a righty at 96 overall. Sale a lefty at 93 overall. And then the lineups. The DH is a Sprinter for the AL and Tatel Marte for the, or DHs will be George Sprinter for the AL and Tatel Marte for the NL. But do we have anyone down here? Bogarts did make it, and Martinez. So we do have 4 players making it, or 4. No, 5, because we have 2 starters. We have Sale and Devers as the starters, and after we have Barnes in the bullpen, and then we have Bogarts and Martinez on the bench. So we got 5 players that made it, and Devers is batting 3rd. So I'm not going to mess with any of the lineups or anything. So weird that Abreu's in the NL, or on the Reds and in the NL, and then what? Joey Votto's on the Twins? So it's like, yeah, that's weird. Bryce Harper didn't make it, and right on the bench, on Cody Bellinger, Trey Turner, Corey Seager, Buster Posey, and Wilson Contreras, so I believe the 2 backups. But yeah, I'm not going to mess with any of the lineups or anything on the playoff punch for this game, and Matt Sturgeon is not turned down at all. 2021 MLB All-Star game from Coors Field, AL versus NL. Let's get into it right now. We are live and on the air for the 2021 MLB All-Star Game here at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. It's like I said, it's a 2021 MLB All-Star Game between the American League All-Stars and the National League All-Stars. 2021 Midsummer Classic here on the show. This is like the first All-Star Game I've played here in MLB Show 21, and MLB Show 21 came out a year ago. Welcome, hello everyone, Vinny J and Studio 42, aka The Man Cave. Welcome to the 2021 Midsummer Classic here on the show. And here's the All-Star starters for the AL and the NL. That's what Byron Buxton for the AL, a feature player, and that's what Ronald Acuna Jr. for the NL. As obviously, although we're at an NL part, both teams do have a DH, just so you didn't add 2 more players into the lineup. And into the game, it's Chris Sale, the starting pitcher for the AL, and the starting pitcher for the NL is Trevor Bauer. It's a 2021 MLB All-Star Game on the show when it comes your way next. There's Abreu. But this is like the first All-Star Game I played in MLB Show 21, and MLB Show 21 came out like a year ago. I think this is the first All-Star Game I did. I said I think it is, but I believe it is. There's Mookie Betts. Probably the thumbnail right there.
Getting close to first pitch here. Let's listen in to public address announcer Alex Miniak. And now, the National League All-Stars.
As the NL All-Stars take the field, so the home team and turn out the first base dugout. NL's dugout is the first base dugout. AL's dugout is the third base dugout. NL's the home team is after at NL Park. Here's the starting comparisons. Sits is Sale sits. Bauer sits 1. 31 years of age, or Sale's 31 years old. Bauer's 30 years old. Here's the stats. Bauer stats in the first half. 18 starts, 11-7, a 2.01 ERA, has pitched 134 innings, 89 hits, a 0.98 WHIP, 42 walks, and 141 strikeouts. So a ERA of what? Literally just over 2 by a hair, and then obviously a sub-1 WHIP. And here's the National All-Stars defense. Obviously, Yelich, Acuna Jr., and Betts, who won a Gold Glove last year in the outfield. Abreu, Albies, and obviously they'll show them again. There's, you can see the stands, and it looks like the Georgia State here in Colorado. Now let's get into it. As you'll see the defense for the NL longer after like the first out or something. Here's Anderson, 4-seam fastball, a cutter, a slider, a knuckle curve, and a 2-seam fastball from Bauer. Ron and Shaw, my apologies, let us at quit count, so it's a 1-1 count as we're underway here in the Midsummer Classic. That's a foul ball, 1-2. Full house here in Colorado at Coors Field. And at the line, drive into the gap. It will dip down and go all the way to the wall. It's got by Acuna. It will go up against the wall by the bullpens, and that will be a leadoff throw for Anderson to lead off the game. Anderson, the leadoff man, and he leads off the All-Star game with a double. Went all the way to the wall. Now it's David Fletcher, who batted .291. And the Angels have 3 starters. Like I said, Suzuki, Walsh, and Fletcher. On deck is Devers of the Red Sox. Here's Fletcher, and he reached for that slider, which was low and a little bit outside, but at least low. And he fouled it away. 1-2 pitch to Fletcher. Ground ball. Runner will advance. They could have done him at third. The third baseman was there, but Bauer would take the shirt on at first base. Runner would get over to third, 1 down. And here's the National All-Stars defense. Christian Yelich, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Mookie Betts in the outfield. Jose Abreu, Ozzy Albies, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Nolan Arenado, who also won a Gold Glove last year, in the infield, and JT Realmuto behind the plate. And obviously, Trevor Bauer on the mound. 3-1 hitters count to Devers, with the runner at third and 1 out. Infield's back. And that's a tapper foul. 3-2 count to Devers. Here we go, it's a full count. And that's another foul ball, a knuckle curve at 79 miles per hour, just below the zone. But anything slow, so you gotta swim, you might get run up. And that's another foul ball, just low, but it was only low probably by like a few inches, and who knows who the home plate umpire is. And he might call it a strike 3, and that is a low, or that pitch, that 3-2 pitch is low, ball 4. Was a slider, good take by Devers, but now the double play is in order for Franmil Reyes, who is in the, he's on the Indians, obviously. He didn't miss anything. It's a 1-1 count to Reyes, runs in the corners, 1 out, double play is in order. And that's a little jam shot down the line. It is playable. It's in behind it. There's the right fielder. Here comes Anderson. Here's the throw. It's right on line. Anderson is safe as he got around the tad. Heck of a throw by the right fielder. I forgot who the right fielder is, but it was a heck of a throw, but kind of was in a place where the catcher had to field it, which was what? The catcher or Mito had to field it and then kind of do a swipe tad. And unfortunately, because he had to do that, Anderson was able to get his hand in. So the set fine RBI for Reyes. And the AL strikes first here in the All-Star game. 1-2 pitch, foul tip, held on by Ramito, a sprinter. The DH strikes out and the inning's over. But the AL did a run and they did what? 1 run on 1 hit, 1 walk, and a runner left. Here comes the NL. Here comes the NL. 1-0 AL. Here's Sales. This team already has a 1-0 lead. 19 starts here in the first half so far. 11-1 record, a sub-2 ERA. Has pitched 138 innings, 116 hits, 1.08 WHIP. It's pretty good. I mean, he does have a just over one WHIP, but he does have a sub-2 ERA. Here's Mookie Betts of the Dodgers. He batted .344 in the first half. That's pretty good. Here we had a 1-1 pitch to Mookie. Swing and a miss, strike 2. As he went right through the slider, or excuse me, the changeup at 85 miles per hour. 4-seam fastball, a slider, a changeup, and a 2-seam fastball for Sale. The lefty from the Red Sox. And that's a jam shot, and that will one hop into the seats. 1-2 pitch still to Mookie. That's a ground ball past Sale, right into the shift. Behind second is the second baseman. Throw to first in time. 1 down. By the way, the NL's right fielder is Mookie Betts. He was the one that made the throw home on that sac fly. And here's the AL's defense. Giancarlo Stanton, Byron Buxton, and Franmil Reyes in the outfield. Jarrett Walsh, David Fletcher, Tim Anderson, and Rafael Devers in the infield. And Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. And obviously, Chris Sale on the mound. Here's Marte, who I believe was at the DH for the NL. A little jam shot to the second baseman. That's Fletcher. Throw to Walsh, who are teammates. Walsh, Suzuki, and Fletcher, all Angel players. 2 down. And now it's Yelich, who had 24 home runs in the first half. He's batted .327. Shift is on. Lefty versus lefty matchup here. Line drive through the shift base hit. Stanton did over to his left and does cut it off, so it's only a single. And Yelich is on with a 2-out single. That's the first hit of the game for the NL in the first inning. Runner at first, 2 outs for Ronald Acuna Jr., the center fielder and the outfielder and great player from the Atlanta Braves. That's a fly ball. That ball's hit well. Bad as the center fielder puts Stanton, and he's got it on the warning track. As it's 4:15 at center. He hit that probably 4:05, maybe even 4:10, but it's trying to bust it on the track. And the one that scores 1-0 AL here in Colorado. And here's Giancarlo Stanton. Batted .281 in the first half. 22nd pitch for Bauer. Shift is on for Stanton. And swing and a miss, strike 2. 1-2. Richard Bleiner's on the warm-up, a lefty in the NL's bullpen. And the AL's on the warm-up, Darren O'Day. So obviously these stars will probably only go like 2 innings. Here we go, 1-2 pitch. That's a ground ball into the shift, over the center baseman. Here's a throw and Albies to the left, the second. It took way too long to throw it. And Stanton's on with a leadoff single, a leadoff infield single. Now it's Jarrett Walsh, number 7 batter. That's a foul ball, 1-2. Nice hustle by Stanton of the New York Yankees. 1-2 pitch. That's a fly ball left field. Right there is Yelich. Ball's tailing, but he only made a run and catch. As he had to run back because he kind of ran too far in, but he does make the catch, 1 down. And now it's Byron Buxton of the Twins with, I don't know who's last. I think it's Suzuki, their catcher. The AL's catcher is on deck. Then the top of the order, ground ball, just foul. And they'll probably see these starters, at least the pitchers will probably only last 2 innings, the starting pitchers. The starting position players will probably last, depends how long. Here we go, here's Buxton, and you might see some only get 1 or 2 at-bats, only last 4 or 5 innings, or you might see that 3 at-bats and last like 7 innings. Here's Buxton, he sends it, deep right center, back is Betts to the track, and he's got it. Lighted his own catch right in front of the 375 sign in right center field, 2 down. And looks like we're going to have some show track technology. As he probably covered at least 100 feet there. Yeah, he covered 106 feet. His top speed was 18 miles per hour. And his route efficiency was, what, like 98%? Here's Suzuki. Top viewer followed. Ground ball, center base. And he's actually going to throw it across his body, which was dangerous. But it doesn't make the catch. The shortstop doesn't make the catch at center base. They do get the force out and the inning's over. Middle of 2 scores the AL 1 and the NL 0. Here we go. Here's Tatis. Fernando Tatis Jr. batted .341 in the first half. That's a ground ball to the Fletcher. Throw to his teammate Jarrett Walsh, 1 down. You're probably just only probably don't see the starters go 2 innings of Bauer. If that's the case, he only goes 2 innings, that he's done, and obviously he's in line for the loss. Sales will be in line for the win, but there's still plenty of game to go. Popped straight up to Franmil Reyes with that offset sac fly in the first inning, 2 down. And like I said, I haven't said this yet, but in the All-Star game, obviously in a regular season game, or really in any other game, it doesn't matter if it's spring training, regular season, or postseason, the starting pitcher has to go 5 innings to qualify for a win. That is not the case here in the All-Star game, though. So Sale, even if he goes 2 innings, he still could get the win. Here's Albies. That's a ground ball to Anderson. Throw to Jarrett Walsh. It's kind of low, but Walsh picked it as he saved an error. End of 2. The score is 1-0 AL. Here we go. Here's Anderson. 1 for 1 in the game. And here comes Richard Bleiner. That is it for Trevor Bauer. He has a center, a cutter, a slider, and a changeup. His barrel only lasted 2 innings about since the All-Star, and that's wide ground ball up the middle. And Anderson's 2 for 2. As he's 2 for 2 with a double and a single. He's halfway to the cycle, but I don't know if he's going to get 2 more at bats. But you never know. And now it's David Fletcher. And there's another Scott Oberg and Joaquin Soria in the AL bullpen. Or excuse me, the NL bullpen. There's Fletcher 0 for 1. That's a little tapper. Could be 2. It looks like it's only going to be 1. It's so slow that Albies cannot turn around. Oh, it's a good idea because he could have been safe and he had to turn around too. And here's Devers who walked in the first. Runner sent it 1 out, trying to send the AL lead here in the third. Here's Devers up the middle, almost at the runner, going at the second. Throw to first by Tatis. Does get the out. Brady did keep his foot on the bat. I thought he was off the base, but he didn't. And here's Reyes with the sat fly in the first. Here we go. 3-1 hitters count to Reyes. Runner sent it 2 outs. And that's a ground ball to Abreu. And that will be the inning. 3 runs is the ground ball for Reyes. Middle of 3 to score still. 1-0 American lead. 8-9-1. We're back. Vinny Jennings, 2-4-2, 18 in the man cave. The announcers in the same are Matt Vasturgeon, Mark DeRosa, Dan Pleasant, and Heidi Watney is on the field. So Abreu, then it's the number 9 batter, whoever that is. I think it's Ramiro. And then it's the top of the order. 1-1 pitch. Sale's still in the game, by the way, so that the batter only lasted 2 innings. Sale's still in the game for now. That's their 25th pitch. They might win the top of the order. Here's Abreu with a drive down the line. Will it stay fair? No. It's Abreu just missed it. Had home run distance, but it was just foul on the right field line. 1-2 pitch to Abreu. And he got jammed. Pop up right side. Walsh is there. 1 down. As Abreu got jammed, now it's JT or Ramiro, right? And then it's the top of the order, and whoever that is. Here's Ramiro batted .279 in the first half. 30th pitch coming from Sale to the NL catcher, ground ball, center base, 2 down. And now it's Betts, and it looks like now they'll make a move as Daniel Day will come in. So Sale faces the lineup once, and I mean he did pretty well. Off-season line for the win, because you don't have to go 5 innings. Did 105 for the win in the All-Star game. 1-0 pitch is a submariner. I didn't realize Daniel Day was a submariner. 1-2 pitch. There's only a 4-seam mouse. 95 or 85 rather. 1-2 pitch. That's a fly ball, center field. It's pretty deep, but it will not get to the track, and Buxton's right there in and over. 1-2-3 to the NL, and the 3 scores 1-0 in AL. Here we go, as we're 3 innings into this game, still 6 innings to go at least. Here's George Sprinter, and let's say they're going to bring it, keep Blyer in for now. That's a foul ball. That's a ground ball to Albies. Throw to first, 1 down. And now it's Stanton or Sindel in the second. And they're going to bring in Joaquin Soria. And a 3.98 ERA in the first half, but they did obviously go to the All-Star now. Obviously, fly ball, deep right field, retreated his bats to the track, in front of the wall, and he's got it, as Stanton just missed it. Just missed at least a double. If it was a few feet higher, it would have been off the wall, and who knows, it could have been like a triple or a home run, but it's a fly out. Here's Walsh. Ground ball, and that'll be a base hit as he punched it against the ship between the shortstop and the third baseman. 2-out signal for Walsh, and the inning continues. And now it's Byron Buxton, who has power and he has speed. Here we go. 1-1 pitch to Buxton. Swing and a miss on a curveball at 71 miles per hour, which was low, but it fooled Buxton. Here we go. 1-2 pitch again. And it's another curveball, which was higher, and he found that one away. 1-2 pitch. That's a slider, ground ball. It's out of hurry. It's 98 speed. Throw to first by Tatis. Got the 98 speed Buxton. In and over. Middle of 4. The score is still 1-0 American lead. And your southern warm-up. Ryan Presley of the Houston Astros in the AL bullpen. Still in the game is Darren O'Day. His 5th pitch. That's a little pop-up behind second base Gomez is Anderson, and he's got it over the shoulder and on the run, 1 down. And now it's Yelich. 3-2 pitch to Yelich. That's a ground ball into the shift. Charging is Fletcher. Throw to Walsh, 2 down. As the NL only has 1 hit, the AL has 4. And like I said, the AL has a run, and the NL has no runs. Here's Acuna. Acuna will foul bat 2-2 to the center fielder. That's a ground ball up the middle. Goes past O'Day. Darren O'Day, and it goes up the middle for only the second hit for the NL, and the time runs on base with 2 outs for Fernando Tatis Jr. The stud shortstop from the Padres. That's a foul ball, 1-2. 1-2 pitch. That's another foul ball to bounce between Tatis and O'Day. That's a fly ball right center. To his right is Reyes. It's a long run, but he's there and over. 1 hit and 1 left for the NL. And the Forest score is still 1-0 American lead. Here we go. Here's Suzuki, number 9 batter. Then it's Anderson again. And they're going to bring in still on controller, my bad. And Willis is also starting to warm up. So Ober's ready and waiting, who's a righty, and Will Harris is also righty, is warming up in the bullpen as well. Here's Suzuki. Suzuki up the middle, base hit, and the 10 speeded Angels catchers on base with a single. Now it's Anderson. Here we go, there's Anderson, his 3rd at bat. He's a double and a single. This one's what? And it's caught by Abreu, and he tags Suzuki. Double play. 3 assisted double plays. It's caught by Abreu, and then Abreu tags Suzuki off first base, 2 down. And now it's Fletcher. Now Fletcher grounds one. Albies is right there, and the inning is over. There was that single, but then there was a double play, and then the ground out. As we're halfway through the All-Star game here in Denver. The score is 1-0 American lead. Officially in the second half of the game, bottom 5, 1-0 AL. They scored that 1 run in the first inning, and since then they haven't scored. Go it up. Here's Ryan Presley. He had a 2.45 ERA in the first half. He has a 4-seam fastball, a sweeping curve, and a slider. There's an Arenado. Ground ball, backhanded by Walsh. Good play to save extra bases, 1 down. Now it's Albies. At the ground ball, against the shift, right to Devers, the only guy on the left side of the infield, 2 down. Now it's Abreu, the number 8 batter. 2 outs, no runners on, bottom 5. And that was a late hack at it, as he was way late and just punched it foul. Now it's 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch to Abreu. That's another foul ball as he punched that one foul. Staying alive, 1-2 pitch still. That's a fly ball as he brought his hands in on that fastball, back his butts in, and he's got it a few feet shy of the track. Some close calls for both teams, but it remains 1-0 AL after 5 innings of play here in the All-Star game. Here's Devers. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a 6-3 ground out. And they're down to Brennan and Will Harris. A 2 ERA as athlete in the first half. Wilson Contreras will come in, replace JT Realmuto behind the plate defensively. So that's the first substitution of a position player for the NL or either team. Devers with his tentatively setting at bat. Third plate appearance, and it's a fly ball. Center field right into the shift. Bat is Acuna. He's camped under it, and he's dotted in right center field. One down. And now it's Reyes who's over one with a sat fine RBI in the first inning. They have no right. Well, I know Brennan Mike Trout, although he's a center field, but also nobody right. So Mike Trout will pinch hit for Framil Reyes right now. So Mike Trout wasn't a starter. The offset, I don't know who beat him. Didn't Sprinter beat him? Here we go. Tutter, curveball, and a forcing fastball for Harris against Mike Trout. Mike Trout will bounce one back to Harris. Halfway between home plate and the mound. Throw to Abreu, one down, or two down. And now it's Sprinter who's the DH. And Jamal Jones will pinch it for George Sprinter, and he'll take over the role of DH. 2 outs, no runners on, top six, 1-0 AL. Ground ball, this guy's 81 speed, but it's right to Albies, in and over. 1-2-3 to the American lead, but they lead 1-0 after 5.5. Trout will remain in the day and play right field, and obviously that Jones dude is now DH, and here's Contreras, who came in previous inning as a defensive replacement. Ryan Presley's still in the game. And Kyle Cedar will replace Rafael Devers at third. And Taylor Rogers of the Twins is warming up in the AL bullpen. And Nick Solak will replace David Fletcher at center base. Here we go, and now here's a 2-1 pitch to Contreras. His first at bat of the day after Tony just said coming into the game in the top of the sixth as a defensive replacement. Top of the order follow. That's a ground ball fielded by Solak just into the game. Throw to Walsh, one down. And now it's Betts, who's still in this game, third at bat. Still 1-0 AL. Ground ball past the pitcher, but flat down by Solak. Thrown to first is high, but Walsh keeps his foot on the bat, 2 down. And now it's Marte. And Tommy Pham will pinch hit for Ketel Marte, and he'll take the role of DH. No runners on 2 outs. Bottom sits still 1-0 AL. Out 1 run was scored in the top of the first. Ground ball, foul. Now 1 run, like I said, scored by the AL in the top of the first on a sat fly by Ramil Reyes, who's no longer in the game. That's a fly ball to Trout, who pinch hit for Reyes in the previous inning, and Trout's right there in and over. We head to the seventh. We head to the seventh. 1-0 AL. And now here's Stanton is still in the game. And here comes a new pitcher for the NL as we're fishing the bat third of the game. 1-0 AL. And Cody Bellinger will replace Ronald Acuna Jr. in center. And J.D. Martinez will pinch hit for Giancarlo Stanton. Here we go. Against Ober, who's a forcing fastball, slider, and changeup. At the ground ball, fielded by Abreu, who's still in the game in the seventh. 3-run assisted ground ball, 1 down. And now it's Walsh. And Carlos Santana will pinch hit for Walsh. So switch hitter, but he's batting from the left side of the plate because it's a right-handed pitcher. 1 out. And at the pop-up, infield ground, going over is Contreras, and he's dotted in foul territory, 2 down. As Santana fouls out. And now it's Buxton. Which I don't think Randy Rosarena will pinch hit for Byron Buxton. Full count to Rosarena from the Rays. And that would have been ball 4, but who knows? Should have been, but you never know. But the umpire would call. Too close to Tate. Full count again. That's a ground ball fielded on a start by Albies. Throw to Abreu and an over. 7-inning stretch time here at the ballpark. The score is still 1-0 AL. Martinez will stay in the game and play left field. Rosarena will be in center. And then after Santana, like I said, or Santana will be in first. Martinez will be in left. And Randy Rosarena will be in center. Here's Yelich. Presley, and they're also starting to warm up Kirby Yates in the bullpen of the Blue Jays, and here comes Taylor Rogers. 2.16 in the first, 2.16 ERA in the first half. So they bring in a lefty to face the lefty. That's a ground ball jam shot against the shift, and went all the way down the line with a stomp in the grass because there was no velocity in it. On it, or there was some, but it wasn't one that was hit hard. It was like a jam shot on the line where no one was because of the shift. And it's double for Yelich, and he represents Tyner with nobody out. 3-1 hitters count, and that is low ball 4 as he missed it. And it's a walk for Bellinger, and now it's Tatis with 2 on, nobody out. And they're gonna leave him in. Rogers comes in and does a double, and then a walk. And now it's a foul ball on a cinder at 94. Here we go. 1-2 pitch. Looking for a strikeout or a double play. That's a ground. This could be a double play. 2-1. First, he's got to hurry. And he's safe as Tatis at 94 speed. I did not realize how fast he was. So it's a fielder's choice. Runs in the corners, 1 out. But the time runs down 90 feet away for Nolan Arenado. And they're done with Brennan and Kirby Yates. So Rogers gets 1 out. The runners on base are responsible of Rogers. Forcing out a splitter and a slider for Yates, looking for a double play or something to get out of the inning and to preserve the lead. That's a fly ball. This should tie the game. 67 speed at third, and it's caught by Rosarena. Here's the throw home. Janitor throw, and it's not in time. Yelich scores, and this game's tied at 1 as both runs have been stored on a sac fly, but it's still a run. Doesn't matter how you did it. It's a run. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Arenado. And it's a tie game. 1-1 here in the 7th, and now it's Albies. 2-2 pitch. That's a little tapper. Back to Yates. In and over. And by the way, that run was charged to Rogers. We head to the 8th. The score is now 1-1. Here we go. Top 8, 1-1 game. Here's Kurt Suzuki. And coming in for Suzuki will be Sean Murphy of I believe the Oakland A's. And starting the warm-up is Edwin Diaz in the NL bullpen. Still in the game is Scott Oberg. He's throwing 25 pitches, now 26. Ground ball foul. You didn't miss anything. 1-2 pitch to Murphy. Top of the order follow. That's the ground ball, Abreu. And the inning is over. Now it's Anderson. It's 2 for 3 with a double. Single has scored the only run for the NL, or the only run for the AL. But coming in for Anderson is Xander Bogaerts. Tie game. No runners on, 1 out. Top 8. That's a foul ball. That's a ground ball fielded by Albies. Throw to Abreu, 2 down here in the 8th. Now it's Solak, his first at bat. He came in as a defensive replacement a couple of innings ago. Just no hitting. 1-1 game. Ground ball up the middle. Flat down by Albies. Jeter jump throw and he got him. 1-0 play by Albies in and over. Middle of 8. The score is still 1-1. Sean Murphy will remain in the game, hit over behind the play. Bogaerts is at short, and that is it. Here's Abreu. And some of them is Matt Barnes of the Boston Red Sox in the AL bullpen. And coming in for Abreu will be Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman, the all-star first baseman of the Braves, still in the stand. Obviously now he's in the Dodgers, but in the stand he's still in the Braves. Ty Dane, bottom 8, 1-1. 1-2 pitch, it's a 1-1. Dane, ground ball, Bodarts to the right of second. One down. And now it's Contreras, top of the order to follow. That's a ground ball to Solat. Throw to Santana, 2 down. Now it's Betts, who's still in the same. It's fourth at bat, 0 for 3. That's a ground ball. He chopped over it, charging to Solat. He's got to hurry. He just got him in and over. 1-2-3 to the National League. We head to the 9th in the All-Star game. It's American League 1 and the National League 1. Freddie Freeman made it in to play first. Here's Cedar. This is his first at bat because there's been a no hit in. The AL hasn't got a hit in forever. They have one hit on 5, or they have 1 run on 5 hits, no errors, and the NL has 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. 2-1 pitch. That's a foul ball. So Ober's still in this game. His energy's in the yellow. Let's throw a 39th pitch. That's another foul ball. Diaz is still warming up in the NL bullpen. He's probably coming after this batter. That's a line drive, and it's right to Arenado. 1 down. Now it's Trout. And they're down to Brennan Diaz. 1 out here in the 9th inning. 4-seam fastball, slider, and a 2-seam fastball. He didn't hit 100 on the 4-seam fastball. That's a ground ball. That was 98. 1-2 pitch. That's a little tapper. Charging is the center baseman Albies. He's got to hurry. And Trout is out. 2 down. Now it's Jamal Jones. 0 for 1. 0 for 1. He's a DH. 3-2 pitch. That's a line drive base hit for Jones. And 81 speed is now at first base as he represents the go-ahead run here in the 9th. The first hit for the AL in forever, it feels like. 1-1 pitch to Martinez now. It's go-ahead run at first base. He snapped his bat. Ground ball to Freddie Freeman, and he's lifting the base himself in and over. 1 hit and 1 left for the AL. Bottom 9, or middle of 9. Score is 1-1, and the NL can win the All-Star game with 1 run. Going to bottom 9, 1-1 game. NL wins the game with 1 run. If they don't score, we're doing the extras here in the All-Star game. That's a ground ball, and that is the winning run at first base. The first hit for the NL, or the first base runner in forever as well. And the leadoff single for Tommy Pham, and he represents the winning run. And here comes Matt Barnes. Runner at first base is responsible Yates. Trying to send this game to extra innings, and if we do the extra innings, the extra inning rule where you get a runner at second base to start extra innings is on. I don't like the rule, but when I started this franchise last year, it was still a rule, although now it's not. But it used to be, when I started this franchise, it was. So the extra inning runner, or extra inning rule where you get a runner at second base to start extra innings is the case if this team doesn't go to extras. And that's a pop up as he got jammed on the 4-seam fastball at 95 miles per hour on the inside corner. And there is Cedar, 1 down. And now it's Bellinger who wants in the 7th. That was the end they scored. And that's a ground ball. This should be 2. Bodart, Solat, Santana, double play. We had the extras. So the single, then a pop up, then a double play. We had the extras here in the All-Star game, tied at 1. Here we go, and there's the extra inning rule. It said runner at center base to start extra innings. And it's the runner that made the last out of the 9th inning, which is Martinez. So he's at second. Here's Santana. That's a pop-up. Pop-up late in the bottom of the 9th. Arenado's there, and there's 1 down, and the runner does not move. As there, you want to at least get the run over to third. But he does nothing. And here's Arozarena. Go ahead and run at second, 1 out. And Arozarena lines one, and down the line, Betts is over. Almost hit the ball boy in the head. Doesn't though. 1-2 pitch. That's a little tapper, and that will be foul. And it will be. It will go foul. Still 1-2 pitch. hit the outfield, should have been in the lead maybe. That's a ground ball. Runner would get over, but now there's 2 outs. Like to do that with no outs, but he did with 1. So now there's a runner at third, 2 outs. Go ahead and run 90 feet away, and it's going to be up to Sean Murphy, the catcher. They might pitch him around him. They might not. Ground ball, foul. 2-2. Just because he's a catcher doesn't mean he can't do anything. 1-2 pitch now. 2-2 pitch rather. That's a line drive over his bench, and he's there in and over. And the AL does not score, and the NL wants to get the runner at center base as well. And they're 1 win away, or not 1 win away, but 1 run away from winning it. Middle of 10, 1-1. Here we go. Runner at center base starts turns, and that runner is Bellinger. Yeah, it is Bellinger. Now it's Tatis who's been in the entire game. Barnes is still in. It's a 3-1 hitter's count. First base is open. That's a draw. This to be the game. And there's a wide open hole that'll stop the runner at third. Stratton throwing. Runs in the corners. Nobody out for Nolan Arenado, who had the sac fly in the 7th to tie the game. Sac fly here would win it. Infield's in. 3-2 count to Arenado against Matt Barnes. That's a ground ball, line drive, base hit, game over. Arenado the hero, and the NL wants it off. 2-1 and 10. As Arenado hit that, I believe that was like a splitter, that Hun. He hit it hard in the right field for a walk-off single, and the NL wins the All-Star game 2-1 in 10 innings, and they win the All-Star game in walk-off fashion as they beat the NL win the All-Star game 2-1 in 10 innings as they win the All-Star game, like I said, 2-1 in 10 innings. So that means they won it in walk-off fashion as they beat the NL All-Stars beat the AL All-Stars 2-1 in 10 innings. Both teams had 6 hits, but the NL had 2 runs and the AL had 1 run as the NL beat the AL, or as the NL beats the AL 2-1 in 10 innings here in the 2021 MLB All-Star game. As there's a wind-up single. I believe that was a splitter. Just Hun. Arenado hit it in the right field. Yelich sliding into home as he scored the winning run, and the NL beats the AL. And the NL beats the AL 2-1 and 10. Head of a game, the NL All-Stars beat the AL, or the NL All-Stars beat the AL All-Stars 2-1 in 10 innings. As Arenado drove in both runs, 1 for 3 with that upset walk-off single, and then you got the other behind the sac fly. Tim Anderson 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and a run scored. Obviously, he scored on the sac fly by Reyes. That was in the first inning, and then obviously, I don't know who scored the. No, and then Yelich was the one that. No, Yelich was the one that scored the winning run, and obviously then in the 7th inning, Arenado on a sac fly scored Bellinger. Right, who scored at the end? No, I don't want to highlight reel. Was it Bellinger? Or did Bellinger... I think I said Yelich slid in the home. Yeah, when they showed Yelich slide in at home, that was on the sac fly. The Bellinger was the one that scored the winning run in the 10th inning. But he went over one of the runs scored because obviously he made the last out in the bottom of the 9th. He's grounded into that double play. So he was a runner at center base to start the bottom of the 10th, and obviously he came around to score. Player of the game is Christian Yelich, 2 for 4 with a double and a single and a run scored. He scored the game tying run in the 7th inning. He had that little jam shot on the left field line for a double, and then obviously what? Then obviously he started that over to third, and then there was a sac fly by Arenado to tie the game. There was a sac fly that stood by Arenado to tie the game that scored Yelich, and then obviously Arenado had that walk-off single in the bottom of the 10th that scored Bellinger. So Arenado drove both runs, and Arenado drove in both runs, Arenado drove in both runs, and Yelich scored the first run, and Bellinger scored the second run. And then for the AL, Anderson scored the only run, and obviously scored on that sac fly by Framil Reyes in the first inning. And then Yelich timed the game at 1, when he scored the game tying run, their first run, which tied the game at 1 on the sac fly by Arenado, and then Bellinger scored NL's second run, which was the game winning run, on the RBI walk-off single by Nolan Arenado. So, like I said, Arenado drove in both runs, and Yelich scored the first run, and Bellinger scored the second run. And then for the AL, Anderson scored the only run, and then obviously was driven in by Framil Reyes on that sac fly in the first. The winning pitcher is Edwin Diaz, and the losing pitcher is Matt Barnes. And the player of the day, like I said, is Christian Yelich. He went 2 for 4 with a double, a single, and a run scored. And that run was their first run in the 7th. As the AL scores 1 run, the AL has got 1 hit final line scores are for the AL they had 1 run on 6 hits, no errors, and for the NL they had 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors. The AL scored in the top of the first, the NL scored in the bottom of the 7th, and the bottom of the 10th to win the game 2-1 and 10. And like I said, the AL scored 1 run on 6 hits, no errors, and the NL scored 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors. So both teams had 6 hits and no errors, but the difference is the NL had 2 runs and the AL had 1 run. The AL scored their only run in the top of the first, and the NL scored their first run in the 7th, and their second run in the 10th. So the AL scored 1 run in the first and nothing after that, and then the NL scored no runs in the first 6 innings, but then they scored 1 run in the 7th, no runs in the 8th or 9th, and they also scored a run in the 10th. As unfortunately, the AL had that runner at center base as well, but could not bring him around, but the NL could in 2 batters, but the AL could not. The AL couldn't do that, but the NL did in 2 batters. There was that single by, I think it was, Yelich, wasn't it? Or it was by someone, and then, I don't think it was by Yelich, but in that 10th inning, obviously there was a single, and then Arenado came up and singled to win the game. So so the stream brightens up. So yeah, I think I said in the last episode of the series, if you haven't seen it yet, like I said, it'll be on the top right corner up here. There should be an icon that pops up at the beginning of the video. I said in that video, what the next episode of the series will be. I think it's the second and final game of a 2-game series against the New York Yankees, who are chasing us for first place in the AL East. I think that's the next episode. I believe that's what I said. It'll be that second and final game of that 2-game series against the Yankees. In New York. I believe that's the next episode, and the next episode after that will be the last game of the regular season against the Washington Nationals in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, obviously. Hope you enjoyed this video, and this video on this channel might be the next episode of my Vinny J. Road to the Show series, and it'll be the show 20. It might be, it might not be. It probably will be, but like I said, it might be, it might not be, but you guys will find out when I post the video. Okay, that's time to close on the board. If you guys subscribe to the like button. Subscribe if you have any entire mom, dad, grandmother, aunts, uncles, pets, or friends about these videos. And I'm gonna see you in episode number 7 of this Boston Red Sox franchise series. See you in episode number 7. I need a lot of bacon and Red Sox.